back in this game after what, 3 months? Oh no, don't say that. He's alive. I promise, he's alive. They disappear throughout the week. Everyone disappears throughout the week, but usually around the weekend is when we all have our meetings anyway, so. And we're starting. Oh, Bluebell fan. Haven't seen you in a while. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I have to turn you down a bit. Just turn you down a bit. Just talking a little loud there, but hello, everyone. Yeah, it's been a good while. Very good while. I've been busy with work, stuff like that. Haven't had a real chance to really sit down and talk with everyone. But we're here, finally. I know I should have done this stream earlier, but I was tired and I was like sleeping for like the entire day. Not gonna lie. And I've also today we're going to go over some of the liveries that I've released or are going to be released. Some of them have been released, and some of these liveries we're just going over as and this is also sort of a Q&A, if you will. So if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. But right now, let's just go over these liveries. Our first one is my personal favorite right now. It's James, the Black James. This was been in version 2 for about a while now. I never updated this, and the last time he was ever really seen on video was in the James music video. And before that, I never really updated his livery. I never saw a point to, because you know, it's just James. But he's this design hasn't been released just yet. I'm gonna get him out soon. There's still some stuff I want to finish and get done with him. For example, the tender still looks a bit off to me. It has a bit of, that looks nice, thank you very much, but his tender still looks a bit off, and I want to fix that. And now we're getting into the newer liveries. These ones are ones that are either have already been released and are part of a celebration that me and my team have going on. This one is this is our first new livery, the N.W.R. James, Northwestern Railway James. And this one sticks more traditionally to how James would have looked in the Railway series books. And that goes for each of these characters, with numbers on their front buffer now, and each of the engines now should have, yep, the back of the tender now have a design on it. And we have everyone's favorite, and apparently what Google thinks my channel is based on, Gordon. And a lot of people in the comments of the Gordon the Mighty video seem to really like. But this is the Northwestern Railway version of Gordon. I'm going to move each of these engines out of the way so we can all get a better look at each of them. But we have Henry here. Love that shade of blue. Thank you. I wanted to do a more deeper shade of blue for each of the engines because I'll spawn the other engines to show you how those look. I stuck to more of the TV series with each of these liveries, but these ones are more book-based. So we have Henry, of course, in a more darker shade of green. I didn't want to really mess with. Hear me out, James. Henry looks spot on. Yeah, they look spot on. Well, trust me, we're about to get into the stuff that aren't really that spot on in a minute. It's going to get pretty wild, but I did my best with some of these. So we'll move on now to Edward, and here's where it starts to get a bit iffy. You see, Edward doesn't have a basis in this game, and Train Sim World doesn't seem like they want to add any more steam locomotives to the game. What we'll see in the future, but taking a Fowler F4, I decided to paint up just to look like Edward. I like this shade of blue on him, but I wish, and I really do wish, that each of these engines had like that same chrome look to them that Gordon does, because that just looks so much more nicer than what I know. I get it, it's a whole different steam locomotive and it's not the Flying Scotsman, but you can't tell me that wouldn't look beautiful on these engines. But of course we have our #1 engine here, Thomas, in his N.W.R. blue. Now this specific Thomas design has been used a lot amongst the Train Sim World community. I've seen people take this design and remake it. Some have credited me, others haven't. It's going pretty good, active. And welcome to the stream. But this Thomas design was actually an idea given to me by a... Yeah, like, why do they do that? Like, you can add so much, or like with this recent Thomas DLC. I love that you've added Thomas and Diesel. I'll give you that much, but like, we could have gotten Percy, something like that. Percy, at least. Me personally, I would have loved to seen Percy in this game, or even possibly James. But I'm happy with what we got. I won't complain. But all right, next we're going to move over to our other liveries. These are updated liveries, or liveries that are still work in progress. So we're going to walk over here, and here we have our favorite twins, Donald and Douglas. Before, I didn't realize this until Ragusa, the voice actor for Henry, and a lot of the engines. It's a lot to list, but he voice acted Henry in episode 0 of season 2. That he pointed out that Donald and Douglas looked a bit cursed, and when I went back to look at them, I didn't see what was wrong. But something I never noticed about Donald Douglas, as long as I've been watching this show, was that their name tags were actually placed more towards the center of where their dome is, and I never knew that. I always used to think that it was placed more towards the front of where their smoke box is, but I'm guessing because on bigger engines, since I've started making bigger engines with name tags, I've always put it towards the front right there of the smoke box, so I kind of just corresponded that when I made Donald and Douglas. But these ones, in my opinion, look much better. There's not 5 characters. They're placed all over the place. Trust me, there's some hidden characters too. You just gotta look in the background. And these are this is our work in progress section. The Railway Series Percy isn't done, and it's currently why he's over here in the non-finished section. Same shade as Henry, and the only reason why he sits over here is because he still has his number 6 instead of the Railway Series. I think they changed the nameplate a couple times. That's what I was saying. I have very vivid images of their nameplate being moved towards the front, but maybe I'm tripping or my memory is messing up. But Percy isn't finished because his number 6 is still on his the back of his cab instead of like how Thomas would have his. So he's currently in the work in progress section. Bill and Ben. This was a request by another subscriber. I gotta remember their name. I get terrible when it comes to names. Ever since we've gotten to 1,000 subscribers, I don't really remember names that well. So I gotta remember names, but I do have a lot of people I still remember to this day. But this was the Bill and Ben livery that they requested. I didn't release these because I never really liked how they kind of looked. They always looked a bit, of course, because of how I had to make them, but they just didn't look good, and I still want to work on them before I release those out to the public. But right now, I just don't feel like they're up to par to be released just yet. And we're going to walk over here before we get to our Furness Railway Edward. But here we have Toby. Now Toby, he's the one that we got to talk about because he was made using, of course, the back of a Class 08. And this one I had to get really crafty with. And how he works, of course, you gotta basically drive the 08 backwards, but his face is actually based off of promotional art that I saw on the Thomas and Friends wiki. And took me about 20 minutes to do. And that shading design too, that shade look, how I made it look like actual wood. I had to take the shading effect in Train Sim World, make one side dark on top and make the bottom layer look more like light woodish, and that's how I got that effect. Diesel, yes, very diesel. And of course, Furness Railway Edward, as he appeared in the Timothy episode. Well, not really. He's had a bit of a redesign. He didn't have these yellow hoops on where his wheels. I forgot what these are called. I want to call them splashers, but I'm probably getting that wrong. And he didn't have that design on his cab, that curve going up design on his cab, which is another thing I probably need to do to some of these liveries, because I probably forgot. And another livery that needs to be remade and re-released for me, for my purpose, because I really liked making this livery, Belle. I loved she looks perfect from the side. Any other angle I wouldn't look at it, but she looks perfect from a side view. Splashes is correct, thank you. But she looks perfect from the side. And this, but the only thing I really hated doing, and it's not done yet either, that's why she's on this section, that logo. She has almost like golden ribbons that wrap around this logo that still aren't done. But that entire like logo design took me an hour to do. Those dolphins alone, that was just something else. I hated designing those dolphins, even down to their little beady eyes, because this controller used to have like a really bad stick drift. So making that logo with that was a headache. Same goes to designing her. You can't see it. I'll probably have to. We'll hop. Look, we'll hop on to her cab if it'll allow me. There we go. Yep, crest are horrible. Exactly. They really are horrible. Very terrible. But let's get over here and get up on the detail. I forget her water. What are these things called? I only remember her from like one movie, but I had to design. She looks very detailed. So thank you. I'm always going for that little detail. I even got that little bit of shine on the nozzle of the hose. Water cannons, I think. Yes, the water cannons. So the water cannons, even the design, like even that little shine of the water cannon, we got down to the detail. But she's a work in progress. I have an Arthur. We'll get him later. This is a fan request livery right here. This would be Newford Castle. Currently over here because they kind of currently have the same situation that Alfred has currently with the back of the tender towards the buffers not being painted. Let it shine. But the back of his the tender right there isn't painted and really needs some work. And we're gonna walk over here, ignore that Gordon right there, to our L.N.E.R. blue Gordon. Now this Gordon was the one that appeared in the Gordon the Mighty video, and the reason why I had used him, which is the problem that I have with the Gordon, I have a Gordon around here somewhere hidden that we'll show in a minute, but this Gordon is designed with red wheels because if you look and how Train Sim World designed this game, whenever you paint the running board, it kind of splashes onto the wheels. So when Gordon's wheels are like rotating around, you'll see that line as he's like going down the track, and it just looks so off and it catches you so off guard. So with this design, I decided if I had painted the wheels, if I get up in here and you look, if I had painted the wheels at just the right spot and at the right lining, I could still have a fully red running board while also having that kind of, and I kind of like that red wheel design that he has going on too. And he also, and this is another reason why I kind of spawned him, because I don't know why I never released this, but he has Spencer's coach. There's a little story going on right now that Gordon has stolen Spencer's coach. We'll let it slide for now, but you probably gonna have to give that back, Gordon. But here we have this one only appeared in a short. This is the L.N.E.R. green Gordon right here. Have you tried messing with the project things? I have tried. Just does not work. It doesn't allow me to even when I change it up and everything, it still just doesn't work. So I just gave up. But I'll go back and mess with them again, hopefully to try to fix that problem, because I really want that livery to fully have we'll just go over here and see it, because I have it set over here with these paint splatter liveries, or the most famous livery. In my area, Gordon has those blue and orange coaches. Oh, I didn't even think about that. I always just give him his green express coaches because I'm never really thinking whenever I'm attaching going to one because the Flying Scotsman in this game likes to break down on the rails and is hard to move after a while. Like you can drive it, but after like a certain period of time, the Flying Scotsman like breaks down and just stops moving. So it's good for filming, but when it starts to slow down on like gradients and hills, it's just terrible, very terrible. That probably will require some work too, but I probably could get that done. But let's walk over here to these paint splatter liveries, or liveries that were more requests. Here we have Thomas from I don't know what movie this is from, and I completely forgot, but someone had asked for this livery. I'm pretty sure Teddy is here, or Stephanie is here. Somebody had asked for this livery. It was a paint splatter Thomas. Great Race? That could be it. It could be it. That's actually what that could be. But they asked for this livery of a paint splatter Thomas. The Great Race. Thank you. But yeah, and I never released it because I literally forgot. I had made it, and I had forgot about it. It was one of those things. But here we have, I'm not even going to say what these liveries are referenced to. You probably know. And, well, somebody will know. It's lyrics to a song, but you'll know. But this is here's the Gordon situation I'm talking about. He has mud currently, but where the spots where you see mud at is those blank spots that are on his running board, because it doesn't allow you to like paint. Ragusa got it. But it doesn't allow you to paint that without it appearing like just a straight up like red stripe on the wheels. And of course, it's only on, for James, this is only on one side. You don't see it on the other side. You only see it on this side because you're only supposed to this is more like a display model. Like, let's say like you're driving your trains and you want like trains, it's like more a display thing. It's not like a drain you're actually supposed to drive around with. And here we have one of my personal favorites. This is a livery that I made this was like, I think the first subscriber special. Don't quote me on that. Yin and Yang. This should have been over there, all the way over there with the work in progress, but both the engine and coaches need more work. And the thing about this engine was that one side of it, and I'm not sure if the people who download this livery know this, but the people who don't would think that there were two engines. But the way I painted it, it's specifically designed to one side be white and the other side have black, and because it's supposed to be reference to the yin yang symbol, and has this blossom tree painted on the back. Now this blossom tree actually does relate to the story, and so does the number, because this engine was appeared way before I had started telling the story that's currently going on. But that's a reference. That this entire engine is actually an in-universe reference way before the season 2 had begun. That's why this one had made an appearance, and it was just one of my great designs that I had made and really wanted to get out there. I remember people were mad at me originally about this livery in the Train Sim World community, because they didn't like what was it, they were saying like Japanese, or what's called paint on a livery on a steam locomotive, on a British steam locomotive. But come on, that's a nice livery. That's a real nice livery. It looks nice. Now there's an engine over there, but we're not gonna go to that over there right now. We're gonna do we're gonna have a little experiment, because we got some more liveries that we got to look at, and I'm gonna spawn them in. But this spot right here is too crowded, and the game would start to lag. So I'm gonna have a choice here. We need to get out of here fast, so we're gonna have two choices. We have a little experiment of mine I like to call the Behemoth. Now, you've seen this engine in the shorts. It's my double-sided stand-your tank engine that I stitched together. Well, not tank engine, my double-sided locomotive that's been stitched together. But we got a new creation now, and that would be the Warrior, which is two Jubilees stitched together. Standard gauge Mighty Mech. Exactly. So we're going to have a little choice here. we're gonna blitzkrieg down the line. Hopefully we don't crash in everything, you know. But we're gonna have a choice. For those who want us to take the Behemoth down the line, and I'm going to be driving this at full speed, and this engine is fast. I'm gonna show you the true speed of the Behemoth, because I was driving it at literally at 15 speed on one side of the engine with how fast both of these actually go. So we're gonna have a choice. Do we all want to take the Behemoth to get out of the yard, or do we want to take the Warrior? What's the choice here? The Warrior, or are we going the Behemoth? We might break the game, actually. I've broken the game many times driving the Behemoth behind the scenes. Like, just trying to, like... I think the Black 5 is faster. We'll see. It's a tough decision. Which one do we think would be the fastest? Because we got to get away from all these liveries before we can do anything. 2? We're going with 2? We're going with number 2? Engine 2? Oh, well, if we go for option 2, this one's a bit tricky, because it's probably the fastest engine in our arsenal. Alright. Now it's the setup process for both of these engines. Always make sure your brakes are on, unless you want to really see the full force and die. So we're just gonna do that. Wait, no. Turn the brakes off on this side. There we go. No, don't. The character's trying to run away. He knows what's about to happen. He knew. After that last crash, he doesn't want to do this again. Turn that up to full speed. This is probably the last thing that I ever do in this stream, because it's probably about to lag us. Turn everything up to full power. This is where the fun begins. Yeah, the game doesn't like this already. We're going to set a path here. Let's see, let's travel to, we're gonna need a lot of traffic. So can we get here without any problems? Yes, we can. Alright, so this is how I die. Let's get this started. Do you wanna move, or are we gonna have to take the Behemoth? I'd rather you not move, to be honest with you. Oh, you starting off real slow. I'm afraid to get off to see what the problem is right now, because if we go barreling down the track... Okay, we'll see what the problem is. We got the brakes off. Standing up in this, I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack. This is not a good idea in the slightest. I can hear my PlayStation about to break. Come on now. Oh god. Oh, there we go. Was that the problem? No. Wrong direction. Oh, we're going backwards. It's trying to drag us to hit. Okay. I'm gonna need you to stop and go the opposite direction. Come on, don't do that. Backwards. This is alright, there we go. This should go well. Keep going. Alright, slow down. We gotta get traction. We gotta get some traction because the wheels are slipping. This is probably a really dumb idea, isn't it? Alright, what is the... When this thing gets to full speed, I don't know how to slow this down either. Oh yeah, speaking of which, this train doesn't have any brakes. That probably would have been a good idea to say when I first started this. We don't need brakes. I'm pretty sure the buffers will be pretty good brakes. We're hitting some pretty good speed so far. The game is doing pretty good. It's handling these speeds pretty well. You know, pretty normal speed. I think both throttles are. Did I just? Didn't I just set a checkpoint? I made Pete and Emma in Train Tent World 5. Have you considered that if you did, you'll have to replace them? I don't know what just happened. I think the game just fully broke on me. It had enough of my tomfoolery. But that's okay. The training center doesn't have those same things to stop me from doing what I'm trying to do. You can hear the fans. Oh, you can hear the PlayStation about to explode. Don't worry, it's going to explode. That's a promise. We're going to... No, not this place again. Because apparently I'm not allowed to drive here. Oh, look, it's the man himself. Glad you can make an appearance, Thomas. I forgot I have that DLC. Alright. I'm going to drive a train at max speed, and it's either going to be the Behemoth, or it's going to be the Warrior. Alright, I refuse to leave off on a note knowing that I was able not to... Ooh, I'm frustrated. I was not able to crash a train at full speed. Not that I wanted to crash, I wanted us to get there safely, of course, but I'm just disappointed that the way that it was supposed to go didn't go down. Alright. So we're going back in. We're going back in again. And this time, since the Warrior was giving us trouble, we'll take the Behemoth out. Now, the Behemoth has 4 sets of wheels on, well, a normal Stand-Year has 4 sets of wheels instead of the normal 3 on both sides. So either we're about to get a lot of speed and break this game like how I did last time, or the Behemoth will be perfectly fine and perfectly okay. Now, do not focus on any liveries you may see in the selection screen, because those are either liveries that should not be shown. Alright, and I know some of you are going to go back and try to read each livery, but that's fine. Some liveries are specifically made for the series and cannot be shown just yet, but I'll show off one special livery that it will be released after this stream, that everyone will be able to download. Some of you may already know what it is, but others, you don't know. It's special. Well, to me, it's special. Alright. Experiment number 2. How does this go? You wait. Oh, that took off faster than I thought. I thought it was going to take some time while I was reading the replies in the comment section. Okay. Should have took the Behemoth from the start. Alright, chill out. You don't need... Yeah, it takes off kind of quick. Alright. This is not a very good idea. This was not my smartest decision. But it was probably... Hold on, we're going to switch the camera so we can get a... I want to get a full look at the train going up full speed. So... when I die at full speed, I know exactly when the train derailed. Alright. Going well. Everything's going well so far. It probably will. Shut up. Well, we're hitting some speeds. Trust me, the deliveries will get there on time when you use this steam locomotive. Now, oh, that wasn't at full power? Oh, silly me. Is the other one at full power? I did not like that sound. It sounded like it kicked in the second gear when I did that. My PS4 sounded like it was about to blow up. Oh. I don't think that's good. That don't look too good. Now the question is, now the question is, what happens if we attach 2 of these trains together? Do I dare? No, I think we're hitting rocket speed. I think we might time travel at this point. Very possible. If this puppy hits over like 200 miles per hour, we might break the speed with it. Do we have the Sanders on? You know, just to really mess up my day? No, don't turn it down to half hour. Oh, okay. So, currently, we are, I don't know what speed we're traveling at now, but we're going. We're going somewhere. I don't know where we're going, but we're going somewhere. Now, when this train finally hits up to full speed, I will switch it off the line and into a siding, and my task will be to stop this to my best of my ability, if my game doesn't break. Speedometer? Oh yeah, the speedometer. Yeah, I have that turned off currently. Oh, that was the first lag. That was a huge lag spike there, but alright, let's go. What speed are we going up to? I need it, yeah, I'm gonna turn the speedometer back on. Watch me turn it back on and the train just immediately derails. Let's see how fast we're going. If we're only going like 100 miles per hour, I refuse to believe that. Where is it? I've had that dang... where is it? I had it turned off for so long, I don't know where it is anymore. Is that it? Ah, there we go. How fast? Oh, not that fast. Just your average. It's not that bad. The speed is rapid, like jumping. You know, I think we might. I mean, I wish it did. Imagine driving something like that IRL. I don't think this would actually work. Where would you put the coal in this thing? This man is just nonchalant about his impending doom. I've never seen someone so like nonchalant. What server failure? Did it just say the fusion plug? What did that say? Fusible plugs melted? How did... What? I melted something? What happened? There was no... Can I get a rundown on what just happened? I've never seen... Neither have I. I've run like trains really fast in this game before. I've never heard it say that something melted on the engine. What melted? So basically you caused a boiler explosion. Yeah, we did it. I think I was the first person to cause a boiler explosion in Train Sim World 5. I didn't even know you could do that. So 2 steam engines back to back can cause it to overheat. Alright. When the plugs melt. Oh, so we were probably about to hit a boiler explosion. That makes much more sense now. Well, why didn't it just let it go through? I think my dude would have survived. You saw how nonchalant that dude was? That was not his first time. That was not his first rodeo having to do this. Like, he does that on a daily basis. Alright, Mr. Deadman. What about Gordon? What about Gordon? Let's get And no, with the Flying Scotsman, that was the thing I was talking about. Flying Scotsman, you can't put 2 of them back to back together for some reason in this game, nor can you do it with the Fowler. And I really wanted a Fowler engine that was double-sided, because that literally could have just painted up to be exactly like Mighty Mac. But you know, the usual. Ah, yes, now this is what I want to talk about. Gordon in his, this, in the running board. Flying Gordon. You see those gaps in the running board right there? Those color gaps? It's all because Train Sim World has like the dumbest like physics mechanics known to man. when it comes to like painting like the locomotives. Like for example, yeah, I know this is supposed to be Gordon, but I didn't know they just repainted one of the Scotsman's tenders green and gave it to him. And the express coaches, fantastic. But the problem with Gordon is you can't drive him for long. We all love Dovetail, exactly. Don't we all? But what was I saying? Yeah, this Gordon. Yeah, we love you, Dovetail. Like, why would you do this? Oh, and let's look at the buffers here. Look at that. You can paint it as much as you want, but for whatever reason, this doesn't get painted. I don't know why. That is like the most awkward spot to have that. But what's even crazier, if you go back to the back of the engines and like look at their buffers, they don't really have that problem. I can drive the Flying Scotsman longer. No, it's kind of, yeah, it's really annoying. But I will eat you. No, when it comes to the Flying Scotsman, Ragusa experienced this problem too. The Flying Scotsman, when it gets to like an incline that's really, really, really long, it starts to like slow down and just like comes to a dead stop, which technically is canon to something Gordon does do. But when I'm trying to just drive the Scotsman, you know, and just have a good time, when it breaks down in the middle of service, that's, you know, it's a huge pain. I'm trying to play the game, not actually have to try to figure out what's wrong with Gordon. But if Gordon breaks down and all is lost and we can rely on no one, we can always rely on our boy. Where is he at? Come on. There you are. Everyone's favorite blue boy. Yeah, I really wish, and that's the crazy thing, because that's been persistent since the last game, but everyone's favorite blue boy, Edward. And of course, everyone says, oh, you know, it's not the right basis, but hey, if you look at him from the side, from like this angle right here, it kind of looks like, I know it doesn't look like Edward, but you know, stick with me here. You kind of got Edward. A very blue Edward, compared to his counterpart, his TV series counterpart, and we're gonna go starting with Edward, because Edward has the third most liveries in this game, I believe. But we're gonna need more track to display all of them on. James is second place, I believe, because he has I think 6 liveries in total. The noisy trucks hold an engine back. Exactly. That don't make any sense how that works. How does Gordon, of all engines, break down? But it is what it is. But I'm just gonna one by one. First, let's go to our Thomas livery. But first, we got to go through the E2 tank engine liveries first. So let's go with the first one that there you go, the LBSC black Thomas. But this is actually not even Thomas. This is actually Timothy. Because fun fact, little fun fact about the Timothy story, I originally was thinking about painting Timothy that color when he first arrived. It wasn't until Active, another one of our my co-workers, had informed me that Timothy was brown. Like in a lot of the stories, he's brown, but I was going to give him that livery. So instead of having extended side tanks, it has Timothy's short side tank design. But I never fully put him in the story, and I don't think I ever put this engine in any video. Sorry then about my comment about the Flying Scotsman. Oh, that's fine. This game is so buggy, but the only reason why I love it to death because it's where I first started all the stuff. That's true. We could have went with whatever we wanted, but man, that would have been good to see him in personally. But you know, his iconic brown is still what we go for, because we got to stay authentic to the actual story and how it's supposed to go. And now we have here we go. There we go. The man, the myth himself. Hello, Timothy. Going to run off a viaduct again, I see. And of course, where's the last one? My model. Green, green, green. Where's that? Both will be correct. My mind. True. And of course, we got our boy Thomas and his classic green. So technically, Dovetail, you owe me royalties. All right, I did it first. Give me my money. I'm joking. But like, I don't have the LBC Thomas, like the actual DLC for that. I never really bought it just yet. I know, $10. I could have got that easily. The Umber Brown seems so pretty. I used to make a lot of characters, Rosie, Oliver, and I never thought about making Rosie. Like, her design would work on this, like the way I make these the Thomas design, but I just really never. I literally, I probably because I forgot about her, to be honest with you, and no one's really asked for Rosie. Where's the blue man himself? Where's Thomas? There you are. Yeah, Thomas, you have a lot of variants to you. But currently, this is another. He wasn't in the lineup, but this is one of the Thomases who needs to be released. This is version 4 of Thomas, the one that was in the sheds in the Timothy episode. And the difference here is he has more shading on his boiler, and not to mention the way I designed these the doors that go to his cab have that shading effect, so it looks like it has more depth to it. It's more. So when you're far away, it looks like Thomas has more detail to him than what he really does. Because, of course, this is just a Fowler F4 painted up with a troublesome truck livery on the back. Smartest design I've done compared to, well, not my smartest design I've done, but definitely the one that started off the painting the back of an engine's livery to look like an engine, like the actual engine. Now, where is my other Thomas livery? We have plenty of those. Of course, the N.W.R paint cover, we've seen him. And then, yes, there you are. There you are. The one you ran off the viaduct, the classic one. Hello there, Timothy. Now, there's 2 variants of him too. He has an extended side tank version because when we were writing the script, I wasn't paying attention to that fact. So some scenes, if you look closely, Timothy actually has... the model that's depicted on screen has extended side tanks instead of the short side tank model. And the way you can really tell about that when it comes down to how I make these is that I always do like a black shading to make it look like it has more depth. So from a distance, when you're looking at those models from a distance, like especially from the side, it looks extremely accurate to like an E2. I would say that all my models are like side models. I've also used a little bit Salty. Salty was another request I was supposed to make, but again, sidetracked with work. Never got around to making him, but Salty is another character I do need to make and get him up on the series. Because he was supposed to have a livery showcase, but I never got around to it. And this is a Donald and Douglas livery that needs to be fixed up because it's old. They're still in version 2, as you saw as I was scrolling through the list. This is their Railway Series blue look. And of course, I got to remove that sign back right there. But these 2, I don't think, have ever really made an appearance like that. He looks more like Edward. And that's the thing about it. No one really thinks about that Edward pretty much would have looked like Donald and Douglas if they remained painted blue, how they looked in the books. But that looks okay. It's still good. Yeah. It looks good, but to my understanding, like, what was the real point of having them all be painted blue? In the Railway series, it's more toward I don't know, because I feel like it needs to be Caledonian blue. I was basing this more off how the books looked, because the books just had them in why am I forgetting? Edward's blue. Which, it's almost like when they had Henry painted blue, and he just looked like Gordon. Why? You limit so much when you do that. And I wasn't able for, the longest of me to able to tell the difference between Gordon and, Henry for the longest. The nameplate, they didn't, I don't think they had, not Donald and Douglas. I was talking about, Henry and Gordon, characters like that, but with the nameplates, yeah. And no, you're cursed. I don't even know why I brought you out. I was looking for Thomas, and that is the wrong Thomas. Goodbye. Another fan request. I never ask, I just make the request, man. Go back to wherever. Thomas the Cow engine, yes. That cursed engine. I say the same shade as the new N.W.R. Living. Yeah, I'm actually going to paint them that. That'll be like lovely, really nice. Ah, yes, another James that wasn't on the display. I wonder who this could be. Look familiar? Now, someone had already made this livery on like this Train Sim Mode 5, and it looks really good. And I like their livery, and to be honest, I feel like their livery kind of looks a bit better than how mine looks. Mine, I use the Bachmann trains models whenever I do these liveries. So I literally just took that reference just to make this James. Don't take your time. James, as seen in the green controller. Alright, take your time, man. Like, it's no rush when it comes to this channel. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I know still needs to be done, and I will talk about right now. We're just doing a livery showcase stream and a few Q&As if anyone has any questions. But, you know, time. People always say time is money, but for me, no, time is time. That's how it's always going to be. Ah, yes, and here we have him, the menace himself, Percy. You know, for an engine, like, I think Percy, funny enough, was the last engine I brought into the series. He never really had a livery for, like, the longest. He never appeared ever, and when he did, he was that diesel livery that, I think it was, I don't forgot their name, but they were talking about how it looked so cursed, that livery. And yeah, it did, because we won't talk about the Diesel Thomas livery, or even better. I'm gonna pull out an even better livery right quick. This one was a request, and I still remember who did this. Another one by We Love Teddy, the same person who made the Cow Thomas livery request. And where is it? Do I have him? No, I don't have him on here. I don't know where I have them. There they are. Box van, Thomas, and coaches. Now this one's a doozy. This one was a request by We Love Teddy. You haven't seen Cursed until you've seen this. This one's, I don't know why, but, you know, a request is a request, I suppose, but this one baffled me. It was easy to do. Like the design I did for this Thomas, I literally just looked at the actual TV model and just painted it onto the side and did my best, like with detailing and stuff like that. Like you even got some coal detail in the back of his bunker and actually have like fire in his I might turn a boxer into birdie bus and train something. That actually sounds pretty good, and that actually sounds like a good idea. Because I'm supposed to also do the narrow gauge engines like this too. He asked for the narrow gauge engines to be done like this too. But this was a very odd request. Of course, he needs Annie and Clarabelle, but I never understood why. Like I got like the front facing view detail. You got like the lamp detail, and the face I used was like promotional art for the Railway series. And Day Out with Thomas, it actually could. Now that you say it like that, it probably could, but definitely one of the more strangers requests, and I don't use that one much unless I'm like, I'm back. Welcome back, Steamy, the hybrid tank engine. Welcome back. We're just going over each livery one by one, and I'm doing little small facts about them. Where's the boy himself? No. Don't tell me he's gone. Like, oh, there you are. The first of the bigger engines to get this, the tender design, and he also had the new Brendam's Bay coach design on the back. The Brendam's Bay car design. That one took a while to do. Designing that Brendam's Bay van for his, what's it called? I'm gonna upload my Din and Dart liveries for Creators Club. That sounds. Arthur looks amazing. He He was the most difficult one to do. Because Arthur has so many weird angles on him. Like if you look at him, a train symbol, E2, LBSC. That would be cool. It really would. I actually have a few of those liveries that are like that. I have a few L.B.S.R. liveries that I gotta show, but these are the liveries that I'm currently showing. We have Arthur, of course, and with him, of course, same back design that Belle has, where I had to extend the livery onto the back of his tender, so that that back wheel lines up with the cab, and it looks so it looks authentic, and it makes him look more larger than what he really is. And plus, when you're like driving him with the actual Brendan Bay vans, which I've released before, another thing I got to do is I got to go back and make sure that I release each livery with the like a version that everyone can download it off of. Because if people can't download a certain version of the van, like the free version, and they got to buy a pack, they're not gonna be able to like do stuff like this. So you got Arthur in like the full Brendan Bay van. So if you're standing from like far away, let's go stand in this parking lot. So you give me access to the parking lot, but you don't give me access to certain parts of the game DLC that I bought. Makes sense. We have, you see how that looks? It all looks splendid together. And of course, we got another little side livery over here, but we got our spiteful brake van. Oh, you look grumpy. And something that's cursed about these, you see, because Train Sim World has like a bleed through thing in this game where like the liveries and stuff like that will bleed through, the spiteful brake van has two faces. Yeah. Love the Brendan Bay vans. The Brendan Bay vans are, yeah, I love these. But I have a few more vans that you might like too, like the TNT vans. The cattle vans are my personal favorite. I love how those look. Like I felt like those turned out the best. But bye Arthur. Let's introduce our next livery. And we've been showing off a lot of steam engines, so it's time we give the Class 08s a little show time, you know. The diesels. Where are you at, bud? Class 08. Is this the one I'm looking for? There you are. We're gonna spawn you with some trucks and stuff. Toby the museum coach. Diesel and the troublesome. Oh, those cells. Yes. Diesel, where are you? Why are you in the back of the... There you are, Diesel. This is, of course, my Diesel. The other Diesel... We got the other Diesel, but when it comes down to it, I prefer using mine because Diesel, you look... The Diesel they released, you look nice. It's a very good Diesel, but out of all the faces you could have given him, why would you give him that smile? I know that Diesel hasn't done that expression, like that grimacing expression in a while, but that doesn't show fear into my heart. This doesn't give me that devious Diesel feel. It looks like he's about to like play a prank, and not a very like good prank, like just like bumping some coaches into someone. Nothing devious. Where's the classic Diesel expression? Which if you look on from front facing, you can see it through the grates. And funnily enough, someone has made that a part of their... He looks constipated. Exactly, like, what's going on here? But with this Diesel, I see Diesel, and the great face design looks like he almost has like a face shield on. I don't know what war you're going to, Diesel, but... Look, he's mad. See how he's looking at him? Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous, alright? He's the better version. Look, they did you dirty. I understand you're upset, Diesel. They did you dirty. But he is superior. Goodbye. Now back to Diesel. His face needs to be updated. I don't know why you weren't in the design fix department, but you definitely need a face update. And what other Diesels do we have? We have some that just don't have faces because either I never got around to it. Like we got our, of course, everyone's favorite Splodge. Here he is. Oh wait, I actually gave y'all faces? Yeah, I done forgot. I done forgot my own series. I done forgot my own episodes. I forgot I gave you guys faces. Which was based off of their actual Magic Railway faces. How they looked in Thomas and the Magic Railway. We got Dodge, but we need Splatter. You can't have Dodge without Splatter. If I can find the poor... There you are. If this is the right one. Because I have a faceless one. There you are. Splatter and Dodge. Now these two will never, I don't think ever really get an update. It's something about that low quality design yet that dark. I like their colors. Their colors just fit them and they just look extremely like spot on to me. These are the only liveries I don't think I'll ever update. Like, well, I won't say ever because when it comes down to me and how I do like liveries, if I don't like a design, like if I start to not like a design over time, I eventually do change it. But anytime that happening is no time soon. Or the area face, yeah. I don't know why that is, but they thought they cooked with it. They did something, just not what they thought they did. No, that's Bear, but where's my diesel 10 at? Not the actual diesel 10, like the diesel 10 that I designed. This one isn't accurate to diesel 10, and it was a big complaint in the diesel 10 video that he wasn't the right class, but for whatever reason, I feel like diesel 10 just looks much more better like that. Hold on, let me fix your face there, bud. I noticed you got your face plates like split down, so I'll fix that for you. There you go. All better. And the only reason why I say I like this diesel probably is because you can put a full face on him without like it interfering with anything. And I think diesel, and of course all the diesels are the only ones who have that little, yeah, I like this design for diesel because I feel like Pinchy would just fit much more better up here instead of having his like, exactly, instead of having like his like, because if you see like the class 52 warship, which I do have, we'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and show a comparison. When you look at the class 2 warship, which apparently what diesel is supposed to be, what his like actual design what he's based off of, that's, you see what I'm saying? To me, I don't think that like a claw just doesn't fit that. And the people who made this game, I know 100% they know what they're doing, because why on earth would you number him like that? That you're literally just messing with Thomas fans at that point. I know it says D1013, but you know what you're doing. But back, like this, I probably need to change up the colors though. These look too industrial dark. Very too industrial. Well, that one looks more like show accurate. That's why this is a different version of Diesel 10 compared to this one. I call this one the Thomas and the Magic Railway Diesel 10, and this one the A Tale of Ghost Time Diesel 10. Yeah, I can tell. Like, what were they thinking? Like, that's not menacing. That's more menacing than like, that's 100 times more menacing than that. Well, what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just tripping. Maybe I'm wrong. And I'm just delusional. But to me, that's always been Diesel 10's definitive design. Let's get rid of these. Get rid of all our diesels. Not sure if I got any more that need to be displayed. I think I went... No, we had the Class 08s. Did I go through all of them? Ah, yeah, Iron Eric, but first, before that, the other strange design. I'm not sure many people remember this character, but we have probably a fan favorite, who knows, Flora. Another side diesel, back diesel design. What, I never, like, what is Flora? Like, I know she's a tram engine, but who thought that she's basically like a stand, like one of those New York stands that you see on wheels, because all these windows. Florida looks amazing. I tried to get her face right. Like when it comes down to faces, when I know I can put a face on an engine compared to like the steam engines, I try to make them look as good as possible and as accurate as possible with the limited space that I do have. And no better example than me trying to work with space is actually there is some other diesel designs that I completely forgot about. Face looks fine, thank you, but here's where we start to get into the curse liveries, really curse liveries. You already seen Toby, but we have Stephanie. Now he's another side engine design, so A few have seen this before, but this Stephanie design. Now, Train Sim World 5, Dovetail, I know for a fact you will never add Stephanie to the game. But, come on. Just imagine, like, just Stephanie, like, actually in the game. I would play this game every day, even if, like, no one ever played this, just because of the Stephanie alone being in the game. I would play it. I love Stephanie's design. And I'm probably saying his name completely wrong, but that's how I pronounced it all my life. I think I did give him a face. Yeah, I sure did. And it would be based off promotional art of his face. But this Stephanie design, I have a duck. I have a duck also. I think Stephanie and Duck made a brief appearance alongside that Percy. Livery looks nice. Percy the Diesel, yeah, we'll get to you, Percy the Diesel, and thank you. Where is it? Toby, Splatter, Stephanie, Police Diesel. But first, we'll get you out because you're another livery that I want to talk about. But you're a different reason of why I want to talk about, because you're another one of those special subscriber showcases. We'll leave you back there for now. No, I didn't read them. I'm not that forgetful. There you are, Duck. You tried to hide. There he is. The Great Western Railway Engine himself. Well, the Great Western Diesel himself. Duck. Another side view engine that looks fantastic from the side, but from any other angle is not a recommendation. And of course, more promotional art for his face that I used there. The thing with the faces is you have to be at a very stupid distance. Duck became his worst enemy. Truly, he really did. He really has. But let's talk about Mr. Ocean Man over here. Another subscriber special engine. I don't know why I made this one. I was kind of bored one day, and I didn't know what to do for a subscriber special, and the song Ocean Man was like just playing in my head constantly. So I was just like, you know, whatever, Ocean Man it is, and this livery was spawned. And if you, the small little detail I have, of course, if you look on the sides of Ocean Man, you kind of see a little bit of what appears to be a pineapple. I wonder who that could be. But this one, some people said it was cursed, but I kind of like Ocean Man. The only recent update he has was that name effect. I wanted to look like his name was going through water, like sailing down through water. So that's the only change, in the white effect fading into the blue and getting darker as it goes down into the sand. Other than that, not much has been updated with him or his tag-along friend that joined him that livery, the Yellow Submarine, which you probably saw when I went to go retrieve Diesel 10. Another livery design that I really liked that was apparently seen as cursed, but to me, this is my most favorite and creative because, you know, the Class 40s almost look like submarines anyway, so this livery to me just looks fitting. I wanted to make some Yellow Submarine coaches, but I never got around to it. And plus Ocean Man and Yellow Submarine, come on, that just fits. It goes together. And they're diesels. This is a tribute to the Beatles. Yes, exactly. Very nice tribute that I was going for there. Or a reference to the Beatles, of course, because Ringo Starr. That I owe you some more liveries. No. You don't. No one owes me any liveries. I owe everyone liveries, which is that's why I was kind of having this dream. I wanted to show the progress of each livery, sit down and talk with everyone. And just like show like some liveries and show each of their like fun designs I went for, and like explain some of the backstories behind each of them. And just like you know, keep the channel going, because the channel has been kind of slowing down because of how I've been working. But now, as of late, thankfully, and I can finally talk about this now that I'm fully conscious and, you know, not about to pass out from sleep deprivation. But I don't work over like 50 to 60 hours anymore. I've kind of been banned from working that many hours, so I can now again start to focus on the channel, how I've always was talking about in the previous video. So, and this happened just recently, of me kind of getting banned from being banned from working 60 hours. Because I used to do that every week. I was either hitting, yeah, work-life balance. Now it's work-life balance, but yeah, I pretty much got banned from doing that. Like, I'm not allowed to do that. Oh, well, we're going into some story detail there, so we'll stick to Henry or Freya and the toxic red trucks. Can't go into story deets. Now, this is a part of the Sodor Fallout liveries. 60 a week sounds like torture. It really was. I won't lie to you. Like, there are a lot of people, there are a lot of my coworkers who are in these comments right now who can confirm with you. Sometimes I sounded out of it. Like, I wasn't fully there. Like, it was something else. Dreadful. No human being should ever have to work that many hours, especially considering the fact, which is another thing I wanted to really explain and get into detail. Where I work at, we don't really have working conditions, so it gets up to over like 100 degrees sometimes, and you can't really sit down with how fast you gotta work, so I kind of just gotta put up with it. So for like, it's been a year, and I've adjusted to it now, but during the winter, whatever the temperature was outside, and most likely it was the same temperature inside, and you kind of just gotta either bring some warm clothes, or now Creators Club. Nice. But you either gotta bring your own clothes to stay warm, or just tough it out. That's literally what they tell you. So, but it was like that for a year, 60 hours shifts. I never really had a chance to ever come back to the channel. I was always busy, and anytime I did have time to sit down, either work would drag me back in, like I was saying, and I would get caught up doing all this other stuff because I looks good for a Halloween special. Very good idea. But I never had a chance to wrap back around to the channel how I used to be back in the day, like a year ago. Like, I know a lot of you remember, like, every weekend I was uploading tons of liveries and stuff like that. Every Sunday was a livery Sunday, and was like a livery showcase video. But when I had started up at the new job I'm at now, all that was just physically impossible. Like, I got to a point where I fall asleep at my desk pretty often. It's not even like, the chances that I'll fall asleep in my bed are very slim. I always fall asleep at my desk. It's very slim sometimes that I fall asleep at my bed, and when I do fall asleep, it's because I fell asleep without thinking, or I was just so tired from working that I know I had a lot to do, but I just fell asleep. Gotta love Thomas. Hey, it's not a uranium mine. What do you... well, yeah, it's toxic waste, but technically speaking, it's not uranium. Technically. But I didn't even get into what livery that was, but that was Freya in the active nuke coaches. Is that what I call them? Active nuke... no, active nuke trucks. Nuclear waste trucks. That's what we call them. There we go. I'm sorry for what you've been... Oh, it's fine. It is perfectly fine, because I've always been able to put up with a lot of stuff, and like, the amount... If everyone knew the amount of stuff that I have dealt with growing up throughout my life, some people will probably ask how I'm still here or how I'm still standing. Yeah. Never thought of a uranium mine being in Thomas. Yeah. And it's more lore related stuff right there. But I feel like would it be time to talk about the special livery? It's not really being released, but there is a special livery that I did want to talk about. I'm not really sure if I want to show it because it's story related, heavily story related. and I don't want to get too much into these. Am I standing on the fence? All right, so back to what I was saying. Did you ever publish the ULP van delivery? I thought I did. Didn't I the coach itself, well, the van itself, or the delivery, like the actual line? Because I don't think I've ever released any like full train lines with like engines with the trains actually attached. I don't think I've ever fully done that. So if that's no, I don't think I've ever done it, but I probably, it wouldn't take too long. I could do that. The van. Oh, I released the van. Where is it? Somebody has the ULP vans. Is it? Who has the ULP vans? I released them too. All right, Flora. I didn't even know you were still here. I meant to dispawn you. Yeah, those and the Fred Pelham vans. Yeah, I released these. These were a part of the railway. This was supposed to be a part of the railway series celebration. Yeah, I remember. I released these. Should be available for download. Oh, I'm stuck in between the frame, on Creators Club. I got a lot of other people's liveries I need to download too, because a lot of people have asked me to download liveries. I downloaded a few, and I really like them, and they're going to make appearances in the series. I'm not going to say who just yet. I want it to be special. Oh my dear Lord, how did we forget about the man himself? Boko. I'm so sorry, we forgot all about you. Or should I say, well, curse Boko. It seems like he has been stung on the nose. Don't worry, Boko. We have a friend for you to keep you company for now. You know, and he's much like you. And in fact, the exact same class as you. Because N.W.R is currently in the repair shop. Well, here you go, N.W.R. I called him N.W.R. I'm so sorry, Boko. I mean, here's Sam. Good guy. Very much of a chatter. You know? He's not much of a chatter in the slightest. In fact, he doesn't like anyone. But, you know, you two should get along. You have a very friendly spirit. But if you two don't get along, we'll look at our other friends here. Sam looks grumpy. No, Sam's just tired because we always wake him up in the morning to take, like, heavy loads over to Brendam Bay when he doesn't want to, you know? He always has to get up in the morning, but if not him, we always get Mike to do it, but Mike's the grumpy one. He doesn't like to. Hey, that's not the right Mike. Oh, no, that's not Mike in the slightest. That's a different Mike. You are story related. Get out of here, Mike. Wrong Mike, everyone. Sam hates everyone equally. He really does. Wrong Mike. Where's Iron Mike? That's the one we're looking for. Okay, that's. I'm gonna have to start labeling these things even better than what they are now. Is that Mike? There's Mike. I don't know who that fellow was before, but yep, if we don't have our friend over there, Sam, you know, the happy-go-lucky diesel, taking anything, we have our friend over there, Sam. God dang it. Mike. I'm sorry, Mike. I always forget your name, you know. You're not as, you know, joyful as your twin, you know, so you're not really that much more remembered. But yeah, so Sam isn't the one to carry it. We have our boy Mike over here, and he's always happy. Always happy. Happy fella. He only has run like 3 trains off the line since the last time we've like had him out on the tracks, but he's always happy to help. Trust and believe. And if he has to make if he makes a mess, his twin is always there to happy to help. This is Iron Holly. And fun fact, even though Mike is supposed to be the oldest out of the twins, Holly was made first. I literally designed Holly before I designed Mike. So technically speaking, she would be older than Mike, but he is older than Holly in how the story goes. But in actuality, I created her livery first because she was supposed to be a direct reference to the Sodor China Clay engines, but is more for the Sodor Ironworks. Along with our boy Iron Sam over there and our boy Iron Mike. But let's go ahead and remove all our current friends from the track. Goodbye. Sam, you can go home. I know you don't want to and you really want to stay and work, you know. I know how happy you like to help out, but back to the sheds with you. Now, who have we not seen? Who hasn't had a chance to join us on the railway today for a quick visit? Yes. Who is this? Who's this? Hank? Is this Hank? Or is this one of the Aerodale engines that I made? Nope, it's Hank himself. The engine in blue himself. Now, I don't have any fun facts about Hank, really. Nothing really special about him, to be honest with you. Same goes for Murdoch. These two were just like requests. Nothing really special about these two. About our boy Hank here. But glad you can make an appearance, Hank. You have a very lovely livery. Not gonna lie, that shade of blue will probably work better for Gordon. But it was a nice visit. Nice visit. Next on the chopping block, we have is that the Flying Thistle. You don't get much appearances in the show. Another apology for that, but here we have the Flying Thistle. Another one of Gordon's relatives who has only made a slight appearance in the show. I think he was in the shed with Henry. No, not Henry. He was in the shed in the N.W.R episode, I believe. But he wasn't painted to look like this. He was much more bare bones, and I don't even think he was the Flying Thistle. I need to talk to you about them. Ah, yes, the Flying Thistle. Yes, that's another character that definitely needs to be discussed, because they kind of just sit in the background now. Poor fella. He's kind of he was reduced to a background character. Now here's an engine that's apparently, well, you can't, fun fact, you can't say scrap in this game. I hope you see your class 37 character. I'll find it. Because people have probably seen this when I was scrolling through, but this one, you've only ever seen it in the shadows, never really seen it up close. But we have the Kildane experiment. Now, this livery is older, and I have a newer version of this, but this one is a specific version that appeared in... I'm not going to say where it appeared, because this fella here appears in random parts throughout the entire, like, story, let's just say that. You'll never see him, but this will be the only time, so anyone who is here, see this. Whoever is here to see this, take it in while you can, because this will probably be the only time you ever really do see him out in the lights. Because, you know, he sticks to the shadows. Goodbye. And another special version, there's a special version of that exact engine that never was used. And it was the original design for the, I scrolled too far again, that was story related stuff. I'm here to see him. Oh, you mean, okay, well fine, we'll let him roam free on the rails. Hopefully he doesn't disappear out of sight like he always usually does. I'm gonna take my eyes off of you for 1 second. I'm just gonna sit you back here. Don't move a piston, I guess. But we're gonna leave him back there. I'm gonna turn my back to him. This is always a good idea. And we're gonna go through some more engines, but he can stay along as we bring in some more engines to visit. Edward and the... Oh, yeah, I didn't even go over all the cargo that we have now. That was, yeah, definitely a good idea. Always a good idea to have our friend the Kildane experiment just watching us in the distance, not menacing at all. Look at that. You see that happy face? Not menacing in the slightest, and definitely not going to kill us. But we have James, our friend James. SCR Scruffy. Oh, I do have a Scruffy. I don't know what train he's a part of though. He's here. Trust me, he's here, but he's a part of one of these trains that I have put together. And there's a lot, these trains that you see are going to be released as full sets that you can just download. It's James with the Funfair vans. I always got to put James with the Funfair vans. Very James, very certainly James. It's James himself, the man in red himself. Look at him. You can't go wrong with James. When James is on, you know when you got James. It's James. But when you have James, you know you're safe. You know stuff will go well. Definitely not going to be an accident, but James has got our backs. And of course we got our boy N.W.R with 2 red wagons and oh yeah, the Sodor Fruit and Vegetable Co. Vans. These ones just recently got a redesign. Another new ones. It was the apples that got redesigned. The detail and the lettering and how I had to do that had to be redesigned because I didn't like the original one. It looked good, but it didn't really look as detailed as I go for when it comes to stuff like that. Same goes for N.W.R. This livery right here needs to be updated. It's the old livery of N.W.R. The one you would have seen in like a really old livery of N.W.R. that needs to be updated. Who else do we got? Who's our other sets? We got Percy and the Troublesome Trucks, Thomas and Trucks, Thomas, Annie, and Clarabelle. Ah, yes, the classic. You can't go wrong with that. Now, of course, we have the DLC version of Thomas, Annie, and Clarabelle, and you can stay right there still, but just don't get in the way, Kildane experiment. I know how you like to interrupt and most likely blow everything into the sky, but please don't kill us. It was not my idea to have you out here today, but you know, some friends wanted you here, so we have the actual Thomas DLC. Look at that. They did a good job. Let's be honest. They did a real good job with this Thomas model. He looks really good. Really good. I even like the fact that his eyes actually move, because I originally thought he was going to have like static eyes and they weren't going to move in the slightest. But and another thing that he doesn't really do anymore, which I noticed, was when you got close to him, don't do it, don't look away now, but when you got close to him, he would always lock eyes on you until you got a certain distance away, and Thomas would go back to looking around. But I'm not sure what happened, but he stopped doing that. But his eyes were following me. I would do this, move back and forward, and his eyes would stay locked on me. But the moment you moved away, like backed up like that, Thomas would go back to looking around idly. But now we have the actual Thomas, and we have my Thomas. You know, the first Thomas that was in this game. I'm joking. There were many Thomas liveries that existed in this game before I came along, but here's mine. Now, before Thomas, you know, the little TV series tankage, and you can probably just see this as like an actual E2 Thomas at this point, right? Like an E2 Thomas versus the TV series Thomas. He kind of looks like Box Van Thomas with his size. Well, this one has a bit more, you know. I like how my Thomas kind of looks more menacing. Thomas is highly concerned over there with his safety right now. The Kildane experiment's behind him, and he has a cursed version of Thomas in front of him. Poor Thomas. We'll help him later, but let's get to Annie and Clarabelle. Now, usually with N.W.R and Clarabelle, I know that one of them is supposed to have like a different expression on their face, but I never really did that. I just gave them that, the same smile pretty much. I think, no, one of them have different eye shapes and how it looks. But their face designs, I use the actual TV series models as reference. I just found the picture, but that yellow stripe running along the side, if I remember correctly, is not something that they have, or is that one of the coaches I designed differently on purpose just to stand out. but I don't remember which one they were. I lose track of stuff really easily nowadays, tragically. You get out of here, Thomas. Unless you're the Kildane experiment, you're not allowed to stay on the rails. But the Kildane experiment probably might have to leave soon because he's scaring the mess out of me. I'm hearing weird noises behind me as I'm trying to spawn another engine. Ah, another friend of ours. We're gonna spawn her over here. You've seen her before. Lucky Victoria. The smallest engine of the group of Ironworks engines. And she's made many appearances in the background, just hanging out. Don't know where she comes from. But, she's cheerful. Always happy to help on the rails. Usually is always shunting in the yard. And is the only engine out of the Ironworks to have a special given to her nameplate. Yep, the one you voice. Victoria is one of the main characters of the Sodor Ironworks. She was the only one currently who you've probably heard speak and talk, and her voice actor is currently here. With her, she's had many designs too. Very many design changes throughout her entire existence. In fact, the fun fact about her, and what makes her so strange, was that originally she wasn't like an engine I paid attention to. I made her because I just wanted a fourth engine to go alongside the Ironwork engines. But over time, Victoria would appear in the background a lot. And I never really was thinking about it, but for whatever reason, I would always think to place her in the background of a lot of stuff. And it never really caught my attention. She went from the most least important thing in the back of my mind to always appearing in the background. So her story is interesting, and it evolves over time. But right now we're just going to send her back to the shed because she's more terrifying. She terrifies me more than the Kildane experiment, to be honest, than you. Back to the sheds, because you can stay here just for a bit longer just to protect me from her, alright? Alright, you're a good friend, Kildane experiment. I don't know why everyone says you're terrifying. So far, you've been a pretty good host. You haven't done anything creepy. You haven't ran off into the distance like last time. I think the Kildane experiment is a pretty chill engine. Ah, yes, let's not forget our friend. Another one of our friends on the rails. Well, if this is his right lip, yes. Here we are, Alfred himself. Now, I don't think he's appeared in a video, like, ever. I don't recall him ever appearing in a video. He probably has, but it was like a brief glimpse, or he was a background engine. But Alfred, no, he hasn't appeared in inside the series, like, at all just yet. And I hope to change that in the future, and probably give him some more roles and more purpose. But right now, he's resided into the background. Like the Kildane over there, just a background engine currently, until we can figure out what to do with you. Well, you're going to find out what to do with yourself because, you know, you're the Kildane experiment. You do what you want. Yeah, even though the creator was arrested, bad energy. We don't bring that here, but yeah, I'm not going to let the creation be punished for the sins of the creator. That's just not fair to the creation. What did the creation do? Nothing. Because the creator itself was not gonna curse because right now I'm gonna have to keep it PG, keep it clean, because I'm currently I'm not allowed to be monetized because of some stuff that's going on behind the scenes with YouTube. And that's the whole reason why I kind of have to still work 45 hours. My hope was that I was able to suppress working all those working hours into just 30 hours a week once I had gotten monetized, but with how YouTube wants to work, I just haven't been monetized, and apparently they don't. I've reapplied multiple times, but they just keep denying it. I follow the rule. I follow the little things and tips they give me, and it's just no. So who knows how long it's going to take for me to be actually monetized to where I can fully take a break from overworking myself at this job and just be able to take a seat and relax. But when that day does come, I will be much more active on the channel, no pun intended, than I used to be. I really want to be on the channel again. But unfortunately, with how work is and just how I have to carry myself throughout the day just to keep up and make sure that money isn't dwindling, I just have to work those hours. I would love to relax, but that's just not a choice for me. With how I want to help my family and make sure that everyone's all right, I'm not one to give up. Even if my body's at its limit and I'm falling down, like literally hitting the ground face first and struggling to get up, I just can't give up. I need to make sure my family's okay. That same logic applies to people who I value in my life. I need to make sure everyone's okay. I'm not, for me, and it's hard on myself how my logic works on me, but the rule I have for myself, I'm not allowed to rest until I know that everyone that I value in my life can rest at ease. That's how I've always been through my life. I always worked myself to the bone, to the point where it's worried my mother a lot. It's worried people in my family a lot with how much I overwork myself. But to me, it's just another job. It's just something that needs to get done, because if I'm not going to do it, who will do it? They're able to do it, but they're not everyone in my family is able-bodied to work how I am. And it's had a toll on me. It's had a toll to do the stuff like work as much as I do. But to me, it's a worthy toll. It's a toll that needs to be taken if I want to see my family succeed. I'll work myself to the bone if need be, if I know that it's going to be improving the ones I value in my family's life. Like, that's just how it is. No one can ever change that for me. No one can ever change how I really think. That's just how I am. It's not that I'm a workaholic. It's just that I'm a family man. A man who really values his family and wants them to thrive. So if it's down to me having to overwork myself one day, and someday maybe it's going to catch up to me, maybe it won't. I never know. But I just got to live in the moment and do what I can in that moment. No matter how much pain I'm in or how big of a headache I got that day, work still needs to be done. I have a lot of promises that need to be done, and until I fulfill said promises, my brain cannot physically rest until I do. I don't feel like I can physically rest until I do. That's how I've always been, and I've had times where I've worked myself so badly that I just physically couldn't get up in the morning. I struggled to get out of bed, but I still carry on and push through, because today is just another day. And if you can get through another day, you'll get through tomorrow, and you'll get through the day after that. Because at the end of the day, I love what I do. These liveries, like I was saying, these liveries are very special to me in my heart. A lot of people, one of the comments I had got, or not a comment, someone had asked that, do I feel strange being at my age still liking Thomas and Friends? And I was like, no, because Thomas and Friends was such a huge part of my life. I literally grew up with it, and it was there for me when I didn't have my family at the time. So when it came down to it, no, I don't ever think I would ever give up on Thomas and Friends or making these liveries, because it's what I love to do. I love making liveries, and I love making Thomas content. It's one of the things that do put a smile on my face to do. I'll be honest, it really is. Because after a long day of work, I don't know why, it's just so relaxing for me to just come back and just mess with my layout, make liveries, and just drive trains. But that's neither here or there. Nonetheless, I think it's time that this stream has been going on for about an hour now. I feel like it's gone on pretty well. It's about time we draw it to a close, but before then, I want to show off one last livery. A very special livery, and to me personally, but She's made a few appearances, but no, I haven't fully displayed her livery ever, like really, nor have I ever released it. Now the version that I will release for the public to have, not it's not the version that everyone probably would want, but it's a version that relates to the story that will be released later down the line. And I'm moving here because, single track, and she's more used to being on a singular track than being on a multiple lane track. So of course we have the one herself. Where are you at? Come on, don't be shy. There you are. Now, this engine has made a few appearances, and everyone's seen, and you've probably seen her name flash a few times while on screen. We have, of course, please be the right one and not the, yes, Callie. Now, some of you who have watched the show or the series that we have going on have seen her livery multiple times. And this is an older design. It's not the current one. You can tell by this design I have right here in her back, the back of her cab. But this is Callie. She appeared in A Tales of This Time, the episode 0, but she's also appeared throughout the series earlier than that. Very special engine. Now, I can't reveal too much about her because someone has said that I was only allowed to show her livery and they don't want anything else discussed about her. But a friend of mine said that I'm not allowed to discuss her, but they allowed me to show her livery. Now this one took a lot of work, especially her tender. The clock design on her tender, with each clock being at a different set of time. And that glowing effect, because one thing about her, which I am allowed to reveal, is when she has that glowing effect, that means that she's active, I believe. Not activated, like her power she's powered up. But if these, welcome back. We're currently going over some last livery of the stream, a special livery that a friend of mine allowed me to review. We have a Callie. But when her, the little clocks, the clocks that are on her tender, they look, those baby blue. They have that baby blue appearance to them, but when they're deactivated, they look more darkish blue. And she also has a display on her front buffer. She's only appeared a few times, but she will have more scenes. I would love to say more about her, but as I said, I can't reveal too much about her or somebody would be upset. I'm only allowed to review her livery. Very beautiful purple. What was it? Tyran purple? Now this version is the older version of how she looked. Now, I think this was before she had made the appearance in said episode. She also has a very special, let's bring out her coaches. That's another thing I'm allowed to reveal without him being too mad. He said I was allowed to reveal her liveries and her coaches, but anything else past that and we would have a problem, so. Here we have, and as you can see what I was talking about, this is the design of Callie that appeared in episode 0. With her purple design. And of course, these special gold troublesome trucks. No faces, of course, but these are supposed to be from the Magic Railway, so. And this special designed caboose, brakes van, whatever, with ST on it. I don't know what that means, but you know, it looks nice. Good model. Thank you. Now, the train that she spawned in with, it's supposed to have a coach and not the gold trucks. So let's see if I can find that before we have to end the stream. But this is Callie, and hopefully we can find that coach. I really want to see the coach. because we have her. It might actually drive her around a bit. So where Crimson? I know. There it is. Isn't it? Does she have her coach? She sure does. Now, this is not a traditional coach, according to my sources. It's a observation coach. Apparently, that's exactly what he called it, even though I told him that's not what that is. But he says I'm not allowed to go in it, but I'm allowed to view the outside of it. This is the controller's coach, as they would put it. It resembles the caboose. I wanted it to resemble the caboose, so I had it painted in that same purple with the black top part and bottom part with gold stripe running through it to fit her design. And of course the gold truck's matching, but that will probably do it for the livery showcase. I'm happy for everyone that joined. I know this was probably a weird first stream late night out of nowhere. That would be lovely, Active. Really lovely if you could do that, but only if you are up to it. But this livery, very special. It was one of the last big design liveries I had, and for big design, I'm meaning like the clock designs for her that are all over her. These are amazing. Thank you very much. I spent a lot of time, especially on these clock designs on her Tinder. Like, the time it took me to get all of those little ticks on the clock right drove me insane. It literally drove me up the wall to do. But it was fun doing, and the goal coaches were the easier part. The goal, like, all that was easy, but when it came to designing her, she was something else. She was something else. But might take a few days, but I'll see what I can do. Like I said, take your time. Perfection takes time. But now that we got her up on the tracks, we might as well give her a little drive, a little test run. Now, he didn't say I could do this part, but I'm pretty sure he'll have no problem. AI did you use for your song? That is another thing I wanted to discuss. The AI songs. Those are not even going to be a mainstay in the channel down the line, but the AI that I did use, that would be perfect, but the AI that I used was Suna. It's not even like a really like expensive, what's it called, it's really cheap, and they have a free version of it. But I use Suna for the AI music, but that AI music isn't going to be a mainstay on the channel. But for those who did enjoy the music, that's all being moved onto a separate ItzAtrain music channel. The music is going to be separated from the actual show itself now. Yes, I remember that. Don't worry, that's still fresh in the back of my mind. Trust me, I've been going through each of my comments trying to catch up on stuff that I've missed within the year, because I was working 60 hours a week up until this point, and I was physically beating myself up because I went from about 200 pounds to like 140, 130, but that's still on the way, trust and believe. Everything had gotten sidetracked when it came down to work. But yeah, all the music is being transferred over to the music channel that I will make later down the line, because I didn't want all the music that I do have, because in total I have over, and it's gonna sound crazy, but throughout the time I've been gone, I've been writing a lot of songs in my downtime, so I have over 840 songs kinda in the library vault ready for the music channel, and each of these songs are either have some story in it, have some story substance to it, or are just made for fun. So that will probably be another little fun thing for everyone to go through now that I have more time on the channel and stuff like that. and I can start focusing on the channel more. But yeah, that music side of the channel is definitely being pushed off to somewhere else. Like, I don't know when around the time it's going to be released, but somewhere around, I want to hopefully say from 2 weeks from now, we'll have the music channel as a separate thing. And that's also where the huge music thing that I'm putting together right now, which the music production thing that we're putting together right now, which their Train Boy 11 has been asking about a lot. That's going to probably either be put on this channel or on the music channel. We've got a ton on our plate currently. Too much to list, but that's the problem with writing such a huge story as if we've got. But let's get Kali going so we can watch her going around the track a bit so you know, while I'm not just sitting here talking to myself as the stream is ending. If she wants to get started, it's fine. You know, Sanders on. Brace off. What's going on here, Kali? She doesn't want to go. You know, when he said that I could show you for the livery showcase, he didn't say you would be stubborn too when it, you know, just doesn't want to leave. Alright, fine. I guess we'll leave your express coaches here if you don't want to carry those behind you. Now will you move? Doesn't want to. She says no, exactly. She can be quite stubborn sometimes and doesn't want to carry her coaches, but what can you do? There we go, very beautiful. But yes, the channel is going to have a separate music channel now to upload all of that too, because I don't want to have all of that on the main channel as we're getting more into the story now. I can do nothing. There's nothing you can do when she. Alright, because one story that he has told me was apparently one day she didn't want to pull her coaches and she chucked them, off the dock or something, or she chucked them into the turntable. She's very stubborn when she wants to be, but when she does do her job, she does her job well. Trust me. She's a good engine, just very stubborn. I would have really liked to see you pulling the coaches, Callie, but you know, this is fine too. Very lovely Livery. That was nice. Definitely sounds nice. I'll definitely be around for that whenever you get started on it. But like I said, no rush. Same for this music stuff. But what content are we currently working on? We currently have. Well, this is the start. This stream was kind of like a kickstart to the Railway series little anniversary thing we got going on. And the first couple releases that I have out so far, I wasn't able to release them all because some of them still need to be fixed. The Railway series, James, Thomas, Edward, and Henry are currently out for download for everybody. So you can go and download those liveries if you like. They're on the Train Sim World 5 Creators Club or Train Sim World 4. But this is part one of that, and over like this week I'm going to release all the different request liveries that people have sent me, and just getting out as many new updated liveries to go alongside this huge, like, you can say channel celebration almost for 1,000 subscribers, and to make up for the fact that we kind of missed the 80th anniversary, which was on me. I was working a lot, and the work that we had stacked up and the stuff we had planned overtook what I was going to do. So, but we're getting back on track. No pun intended. We're getting back on track. We're getting there. But this was a fun stream. I won't even lie, and I was a bit iffy on doing streams, to be honest with you, because over the past few months, my voice hasn't been up to par with doing stream. I've sounded too tired, or as some would say, I've sounded too dead to be doing, live streams. But I wanted to sit down and just chill and talk with all the subscribers, everyone, and all the new people who joined about the channel and what's going on behind the scenes, and just hang out, because work's been stressful, and I've just needed this stream to kind of de-stress, kind of relax, and just have fun for once, because I've never really had time for fun nowadays. So getting able to finally sit down and I know it's late, and people gotta sleep, some people probably got work or school in the morning, but I just wanted to sit down and have a nice little stream, It's not often, it's very not often or rare that I ever talk on this channel. So I just thought, it would be nice, sit down, talk. And I probably might do this again, just having us mess around and train some World 5, probably crash a couple of trains. And if Callie, would like to pull some coaches next time we're on, that would be lovely, but I doubt it. More streams, we really should. This was fun. I won't even lie. It was very refreshing to sit down and talk and just debrief. Maybe an art stream. I would love to do an art stream, just sitting down and drawing, and show some of the art that I've drawn before, or just show just do a speed draw, or just to sit down and draw. That would be nice. Or just make a livery on stream, something like that. I'll let y'all decide what you would do. But that was this stream. I hope you all enjoyed. I know it was a little unorthodox and all over the place, but hopefully when I can get this streaming thing down pack, it will be much more, much more content, much more stuff, much more substance to the streams. Right now, I was just testing the waters. Bye-bye. I'll see you later. And good night to everyone who joined. Say good night, Callie, or if, don't. I don't know why you're so angry today. You were so happy earlier when we asked you to be on here, but I guess, I didn't do anything. She didn't want to pull her coaches. She pulled them earlier, fine. Camera shy, probably. But, everyone have a good night. I'll see you all probably tomorrow, because this was a fun stream. So if I stream tomorrow, see you tomorrow. If I don't, she's camera shy. She's never been out in the, sunlight. Very camera shy, but I think we're approaching the tunnel, so her livery is going to really shine through in this tunnel before the stream is, so that'll be a nice little treat. But I'll see everyone later. Hope you have a good night. And are you going into the tunnel so we can see that your livery shine? I'm going to zoom in, so perfection. Oh, did y'all nerf the tunnel? Because this tunnel used to be bright as I don't know what. You couldn't see anything when you drove through this tunnel when you were in first person with how bright it was. But that works. See you later. Have a good night. It's a train out.